Hi, my name is Caitlin Jurens, and this is a book review of Matt Chandler's book, The Mingling of Souls. The subtitle reads God's Design for Love, Marriage, Sex, and Redemption for Jeff McMillan's class on Christian family. It is a decently short book, around 200 pages, but I found it very interesting. Obviously, it's about love, dating, marriage, courtships. However, it goes beyond just that. In the book, he goes through the book of Song of Solomon, and he talks through his ideas of dating and marriage, and he does it by constantly referring back to the Song of Solomon. He is trying to extract what he knows from the Bible, specifically in the Song of Solomon, and apply it into his teachings throughout the book, which is very evident. Although at some points I felt like Chandler might be stretching the meaning of certain verses, but after reading through it more and listening to his podcast, I felt like Chandler gave the Song of Solomon justice in his teachings. Chandler uses the Old Testament's Book of Love as a guide, and he leads couples and even singles looking for love along the path of a gospel-centered marriage, through the stages of attraction, dating, courtship, engagement, marriage, and even into the point of having grandchildren together. The book contains advice about love, dating, and marriage, and Chandler's view of sexuality through his own personal experiences. I felt like Chandler's vision of God's design for what a healthy marriage and relationship should encompass could have readers wondering if they can actually aspire to such heavenly standards in earthly relationships. Still, though, he is gentle with his words, giving relevant, humorous, and greatly practical advice. I believe conservative Christians will find Chandler's words on continuously kindling the fires of love hopeful and helpful. Others may also gather advice from a guy who sounds like he's there with you. In other words, he's relatable and he understands the difficulties with pursuing each other and keeping God at the center at all times. Throughout the book, he also approaches his teachings from an I get it perspective. He's not just trying to act like he's holier than thou. He's writing like he's not writing like he has everything figured out. He's just sharing and relating in his book. Personally, I think books that are by authors who are relatable are easier to follow. Easier to follow and apply to my own walk. That's why I enjoyed Chandler's book so much. One of the things that stuck out to me the most from his book was how he talked about his wife. You can tell a great deal about a person's character from the way that they talk about their spouse. And in his book, he talks about the certain situation in his marriage, and he puts strain on their relationship. Although through it, he never played the victim. He explains the situation and then focuses on the godly reaction within the situation rather than the sin itself. And for example, during a part of the book, he explains a situation when he was intentionally sharing words with his wife that were meant to wound her. And so here's an excerpt from the book that stuck out to me. I'll never forget this. Lauren came around the corner and grabbed me. Then she pulled me really close to her and she began to sob. She cried and she held me. She said, I don't know what happened to you, but I am not going anywhere. It broke me, it wounded me, in a good way, in the right way. It startled me and helped me in a way I could never foresee or imagine, and that's when I said, I'm going to get help. In this part of the book, I learned that it takes an enormous amount of humility to say I was wrong, and instead of treating our spouses like they're the problem, we should humble ourselves and address the real roots where the problems are coming from instead of just putting the blame on each other. I would definitely recommend this book to anyone interested, and thank you for listening.